Live from Radio Row in Indianapolis, it's Combine time. Today's special guest, the great Rich Eisen.
Do not get me started.
I'm going to take what I poured as medication earlier on tonight.
How are we back here again?
99-yard Hail Mary pick six.
4 snaps in. Confirmed. Clean tear. That's all we were allowed. How does this happen? Underneath this excitement and hope, an undercurrent of absolute misery.
Beyond dreadful.
Football gods, what do you want from us?
It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go, and look who is joining us right now, a bucket list guest. If you've been following our show and help celebrate reaching 36,000 subscribers on YouTube,
Congrats.
we bring on the great Rich Eisen.
What's up,
Rich,
Jake? How are you, man? Appreciate it.
I'm okay. I'm a Jet fan. I mean, I could be doing a lot better.
What a montage of misery to start that our chat. Yeah, last year was it kind of sucked. You know, it was really trying and difficult and depressing, and so I don't know. Maybe we can help turn the page together. Who knows?
When you think back to last year,
Yeah.
I mean, has it actually hit you what happened
Oh,
with
of
Aaron
course,
Rodgers?
it hit me right away. Just sitting there in my my living room, all excited to watch Jets Bills cap off an opening weekend, and knowing that the Jets had a crucible of 6 games to start the season, filled with a very tough road, but knowing that many of them would be nationally televised, and this is the first of many of the Jets finally getting the white hot spotlight for a good reason. And then he goes, Rodgers goes down and blows out his Achilles, and we're back to square one with Zach Wilson. And it was just incredibly depressing and head shaking. So the reality hit me right away. And it didn't, I mean, it was just, I think, a testament to Robert Salah's very even keeled hand that they wound up winning the game that night. But after it's all said and done, there's so many questions about the decisions the Jets made leading up to that night and the decisions they made after that night and the level of play that we saw on the field, certainly on offense, the injury bug that just kept hitting them. And I just knew for sure that when Elijah Vera Tucker went down again, that was the final straw. Like that was going to be the snap, and that no matter how much Rodgers said he was going to come back, it made no sense.
Being there that night, to go from him coming out with the flag to 10 minutes later, him going down, it went from one of the greatest moments of my life as a Jet fan to one of the worst of my life. And it's hard to fathom it happened. And now you go into this offseason with so many question marks. I've been a solid defender at times. I think he is a better coach than he gets credit for. But the best thing I could say about him, Rich, is it's incomplete. I understand the quarterback play has been awful, but this team offensively last year was historically bad. And I get it, Zach Wilson is not any good, but I just have a lot of fear going into this year, even with Aaron coming back, because as great as he is, is he going to make it through a full season?
Well, that's the obvious question. That and the Jets were right to just go all in on Rodgers. The question was, should they have pivoted in the middle of the season? And the question is, if they had knocked on Joe Flacco's door in September, what would have happened to this team that was still in a lot of games and has a terrific defense that if you wound up offensively putting on average 2.5 touchdowns up, you would have had a shot. But when it all is said and done, though, I mean, when you see who won it again and why they won it again, it's about the quarterback. And let's hope that Rodgers has that MVP quality still within him, and that the offense that clearly he operates, he runs, and has Nathaniel Hackett there to essentially assist. Like he's truly the assistant to the quarterback. It appears to be the offensive coordinator, the assistant to the quarterback, who is the offensive coordinator and is the leader of this locker room. I mean, he won the award for that within his locker room last year. So if everybody's bought into Rodgers and we still have all of those stars on defense and Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall stay healthy and Rodgers stays healthy, then let's hit the snot out of the offensive line on Sunday when their offensive linemen are out here. That's interesting to me that Salah's coming out here, not today. We're recording this on the Thursday of the draft. I mean, of the combine, when the defensive linemen and defensive linebackers are out there and the defensive backs are out Friday. He's showing up apparently Saturday and Sunday for the quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs, and offensive linemen, which is great because I think he needs to have more of a fingerprint on what's being cooked up on that side of the ball.
To your point, he obviously didn't speak with the media this week. Only Joe Douglas did yesterday.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You might get a chance to speak with him, though, because you and Daniel Jeremiah, with the excellent coverage every year of the combine, get a chance to talk to a lot of coaches and GMs. If you do get a chance to speak with Robert Saleh, what would you ask him? What do you want to know?
Well, my question would be, what's your plan for the backup quarterback position? What is your plan to, on offense, like in general? Just ask in general questions like that. I don't know what answers he would give, but number 10 overall pick's got to be used on an offensive lineman. And then if there is a quarterback that they love, I mean, I found it interesting that they interviewed Jaden Daniels this week. Because I'd imagine if somehow, some way, Jaden Daniels drops to 10, now that would be a big night. That would be a big moment in the draft, is if somehow, some way, this kid falls through, that there's a run on receivers and the top two quarterbacks go, and then there's run on receivers, run on offensive linemen. I just don't see how Jaden Daniels gets past the Giants at 6. I will find it fascinating because the Jets obviously don't have a second round choice because that belongs to Green. I just saw Brian Gutekunst walking over here. As a matter of fact, I was looking to see if he had the second round pick in his pocket.
Guy deserves a lot of credit
no doubt. And he's just somebody who's just stands pat with his plan and now looks like a total genius. I know I'm kind of on a tangent here, but the bottom line is I don't know. If the Jets walked out of the draft with an offensive lineman or two and a quarterback that they dug, because, I mean, Rodgers is going to be there for how long? You got to start thinking about that next step too.
Well, you have to get through 2024 and have a successful year to even earn a 2025 with this regime. And that includes Aaron Rodgers. That's why I'd be shocked, Rich, if they use the 10th pick, even if Daniels is there on a quarterback. I just feel like
I don't know.
They're all in.
But when you have somebody that is clearly that good dropping in your lap, you got to make that decision. You gotta sit there and think. Why else are they interviewing him? Why else are they kicking the tires on him? Why would
Joe
they
Douglas,
spend that time?
Due diligence season.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So if you're sitting there at 10, and he drops there, and he's number 2 quarterback on your draft board, and suddenly he's sitting there at 10. I don't think that might be a waste of our time together to talk about this, because I don't think he'll be there, and I don't think they'll trade up. They should stay put and take the best offensive lineman and go to work.
Do you have a preference on the offensive lineman? I know
anybody who will stay healthy and block. I really
what a concept.
I really have. I mean, we're a beggar. Like, who? Like, just leave it up to them to choose the right one. Obviously, Becton had red flags all over the place that we didn't see, or thought we're not going to come home to roost. But they hit on Vera Tucker, that's for sure. And I heard Joe Douglas says that we're just going to sit him in one spot and leave him there. I hope it's left guard.
He also said he could play, which I thought was interesting, 4 spots on the offensive line.
I don't want him to.
But I think it's calculated to basically be like, hey, we're not necessarily taking a tackle at 10. What if ABT is our tackle? If we had signed a couple guards and
he's an incredible guard. Leave him at left guard. Get a left tackle in the draft like everybody else does, and let him stay healthy. Let's have DeBrickashaw Ferguson as the floor of what we get out of the 10th overall pick.
Like, you think he could be an all-pro guard? That's your projection?
Yeah.
Because I think he could be a Pro Bowl tackle.
He's already shown that. Leave him at guard. Okay, let's see if Tipman's the guy at center, right? And then you get a tackle. Get a left tackle in this draft, 10th overall, and stick him there. End of story. And go to work and run left and run Breece Hall's head off left, and get the running game to the point where, I mean, it really is unbelievable that Breece Hall had the season that he had. It really is just a testament to his incredible talent. And so let's get him up and running, literally, figuratively. Go to work, get that left tackle, stick Vera Tucker where he is. I mean, you see how the Niners, how successful they are running left, you know. But that's my point again, is like, we got to turn the page from last season and stop lamenting about what happened. And I know the Jets probably have, but we should have gotten Flacco, should have gotten another backup quarterback. Yeah, the answer is true for that. But how far would the Jets have gone? I mean, you saw what the Chiefs did.
I think
what are they going to beat the Chiefs? They were going to go in and beat the Chiefs when the Dolphins couldn't. Come on.
But it just feels like they punted on the year the way they did.
Well, they punted because they were just all so in on Rodgers, and the offense could not clearly be run by Zach Wilson. Listen, I know it's potentially unfair of me to say, but I'll say it, because I'm just going to. I'm honest. Like, if just in the middle of last season or 2 seasons ago, if you could have chosen the guy to, just in case the Jets had to be stuck with Zach Wilson one more time as their starter, who's the guy that you would want to have connected with him? Would you have chosen the guy that seemed to have major problems doing it with Russell Wilson? Would you have chosen that guy as the guy? No, but you chose that guy because Aaron Rodgers has got nothing but the ultimate faith in him, and you want Aaron Rodgers to be as comfortable and as up to his abilities and be in happiness as possible. So you got him. But that's not the guy you wanted to have mid-season figuring out the Zach Wilson conundrum. So, like I said, that's in the past. Let's get Rodgers healthy, and let's get the running game going and keep the defense as is.
In your lifetime as a Jet fan, Rich,
yeah,
you've obviously have seen a lot of things. What is your all-time favorite memory, though, growing up as the diehard Jet fan that you are to this day?
Oh, man. I don't know. It's just players, the sack exchange, Freeman McNeil, Altoon, Wesley Walker. Those are the guys I grew up loving. And, the Parcells era Jets were exciting. The Rex era Jets were, exciting. And then it appeared to be unsustainable cap wise and obviously Rex wise. And then brings us, unfortunately, to the present day, because there's that large section of time that you and I have been suffering
here we are
together.
Yeah, haven't had a winning season in 8 years, no playoffs since 2010, but who's tough. Counting?
But we'll be there for the good times, right?
I can't wait.
Nice to see you.
Thank you for doing this, Rich.
Thanks, Jake.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rich Eisen has been our guest, a bucket list guest here at the NFL Scouting Combine. Quick break. We're back with more. It's the Jake Asman Show.